We are still waiting for a quorum.
Well,
Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust for June 18th. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the June 4th meeting. I would recognize a motion to that effect.
Approval.
It's been moved and second. Moved and seconded. I'll vote. We'll vote. Claudius. Okay. Approved. Next item of business, we have 3 suburban school districts applications for funding. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said, there are 3 applications for suburban district funding. They're in the usual form. There's item A is for Deer Creek Public Schools for communication systems in the amount of $18,527.50. Item B is for a generator that will help support that at $22,494. And then we have an application from Robin Hill School District for playground equipment for $20,000.
Are there any questions? I would urge Mr. Todd, if possible, to have these different suburban schools go ahead and close out their accounts if they get down to where they're in small numbers and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion to approve these 3 suburban school district applications?
so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item are financial reports. We have the revenue and obligation report, the trust payment report, the sales tax fund budget, and the public schools trust budget for fiscal 2013-2014. Mr. Todd.
Thank you. These are in the usual form, and you have in your packet as you said, the trust revenue obligation report, the trust payments, the area public schools tax fund budget, and then also the trust budget for fiscal year 2013-2014. Be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions?
On the sales tax revenue on the budget, is there an opportunity for the MAP staff to look at the overages, the $2 million that's available, where that will be allocated in the near future? Do we have an idea where that will be?
We do anticipate some money that will be left over, and we have met with the district, and we are talking about projects that could be done. There's various projects. There's a lot of needs. We're having to go through that and determine what they think's best with that money.
Any other questions? I'd recognize a motion to approve all 4 financial reports.
Move to approve all 4 financial reports.
It's moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next, we have an audit contract with BKD LLP in an amount not to exceed $15,574 for fiscal year 2012-2013. Is there a motion to approve this contract?
Move approval.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. Next item, we're being asked to ratify the issuance of and approve addendum number 1 for Belle Isle Middle School drainage improvements. Award the contract to Cimarron Construction Company in the amount of $148,325 and approve the contracts and bonds. Project ES 48A. Any questions? Is there a motion? Oh, yes, sir, Anthony.
Well, I guess there should be a motion first, I'll wait.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's been moved. It's moved and seconded. Anthony, do you have a question?
Yes, was the need for these drainage improvements identified during the construction of the improvements to Belle Isle or as a result of the improvements to Belle Isle?
It was something that was needed before. It is not a result of the construction that we did. It was something that was ongoing. There's roof drains that come off of the existing building that are discharging out across some property that's very flat. There's also some courtyard area that retains a lot of water in there, and there was an old drainage system that was too small and that had become clogged, and some of it had collapsed and failed. So this will replace that and then collect the water that's coming off the roofs.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll vote. Approved. We now have 3 change orders. Mr. Todd?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First change order is Jefferson. I'm sorry, I think I skipped one here.
Oh, that's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jefferson Middle School, one item on there at the school district's request, there's a weld hood that they've asked to be removed for $6,844. Then continuing on, next change order is for Roosevelt Middle School. This one is actually a delay claim, a fairly sizable claim, but if you remember, we bid this project. Roosevelt was identified as an at-risk school, and the conditions changed dramatically there at the school insofar as the phases that we were supposed to provide for the contractor had to change because of classrooms and the testing that they were required to do, that they're testing much more often. So this is really as a result of more students and less classrooms that we could give the contractor, so it has extended the time for that project. Next change order is change order number 5 for Parmalee Elementary. We have a credit for alternate number 3 is item number 1. There's also a time extension on this one of $30,000 for much of the same reasons as far as the phasing schedule that had to be changed. Millwork replacement is item 4, $66,000. Remember, this is some money that was in the project contingency, and this is some work that can be done now under that project. So that's all 3 of the change orders.
Are there any questions?
Well, which one is this on? Rock?
Last one is Parmalee.
Yeah, on the Roosevelt, so the contractor was damaged in terms of timing? Slowed down?
That's right, that's right. We were supposed to give him 10 or 12 classrooms at a time, and we were giving him 4 to 6 in each phase because of students having to stay in the classrooms and students needing to have testing.
Okay. And someone looked at this number very closely, 162,000?
Yeah, I'm
Y'all
sorry.
looked at this number closely?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. The staff has looked at it very closely and actually brought it down from what it originally was.
Good. Okay. I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Moved or second? Moved and seconded. We'll vote. Approved. As we move to item number 8, concurrence item number, or letter F, will be deferred. And so we're talking about approving A, B, C, D, E, and G, and you have been given an update on D at your place. Stricken, I'm sorry, F needs to be stricken rather than deferred. Excuse me, I should know the language by now, but I've not quite picked it all up. So I would recognize a motion to approve these concurrence items.
Move to approve.
Been moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Todd, do you have any comments about these concurrence items?
No, sir. Other than the item that was stricken today will be brought back at the next meeting. There was just an issue with irregularity on some typographical stuff on the bid, and we'll bring it back to the next meeting.
In an abundance of caution, just to make sure that there were no problems.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, any questions?
I'm not sure. I would just ask why F is being
That's what he...
stricken.
That's what he just said, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have it stricken because there was some questions on the bid form, and we want to make sure that the bid form is right when we bring it back. And so we're not sure which form it'll be brought back in 2 weeks. So instead of deferring it, when we bring back this item, we want to strike it so we have the ability to put on a corrected item or a different item if need be or not.
Any other questions? We'll vote. Approved. Mr. Couch, it's great to have you back. You get to give us an update.
It's good to be back.
We've missed you.
Oh, don't lie.
I'm not.
Right now, we have 20 schools in construction. We're nearing completion on Arthur, Capitol Hill Elementary, Hawthorne, Monroe, Parmalee, Prairie Queen, and Rockwood Elementary Schools. Belle Isle Enterprise Middle School and Capitol Hill High School are essentially complete, so we're knocking them off. Class and SAS Phase 2 project is out for bids. The bids will be opened in July. On the I-89 bond project, construction is ongoing for Wheeler, Monroe, West Nichols Hills, Parmalee, Hillcrest, and Pierce gymnasiums and classrooms. Final plans and specifications for the new gym location at Nickel Hills are ongoing. Final plans and specs for the Heronville, Fillmore, Prairie Queen, Rockwood, and Eugene Field classrooms and gymnasiums are ongoing. The board approved the construction contract for Mark Twain, Putnam Heights, Southern Hills, and Stan Wadey classrooms and gymnasiums on June 6th. We had concurrence on those items today. And then construction contract for Adams, Bodine, Horace Mann, Kaiser, Buchanan, Gatewood, Johnson, and Oak Ridge classrooms and gymnasiums were approved by the board on June 6th, and those were concurred upon today. And then construction contract for Taft Stadium was approved by the board June 6th and on for concurrence today. So a lot of activity going on, a lot of things wrapping up, and our next meeting is 2 weeks from today on Tuesday, July 2nd, 3 o'clock, same place.
Any questions? In your packet, there was the monthly report from ADG. Any questions for Mr. Mize? Seeing none. Any comments by trustees? Yes, Anthony.
Okay, I have a bit of a concern with the budget change that was made between Taft Stadium and Spiegel Stadium. And without being clear on how that change was made, the explanation that was given to me was that more needs were identified at Taft. But I will say that, without any desire to change anything that's been done in the past, I would just like to, as we move forward with construction on the projects, keep the needs for Spiegel Stadium in mind as we go into change orders. That $700,000 more or less was reduced from its budget in favor of Taft. So as we move forward with both construction projects, just keep that in mind if everyone would.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Other comments by trustees, staff, citizens? Thank you for being here. We are adjourned.
See you Saturday?